And for joining us live today again, once again, my name is Busola Shobamimo. I am a legacy consultant, a life coach, and I'm excited as always to bring to you people that inspire me and that leave a trail of legacy in this life that we live in. So I'm just going to see who we have to be acknowledged before we go. 1 minute now there. We're just going to hit on Facebook. So that's fine. Thank you for joining us. Those of you that are with us live now are ever faithful loyals. Thank you so much. Today, I'm excited to have with me somebody that I can't say I grew up with because she was way ahead of me, but somebody that I so much celebrate. I'm delighted to bring to you today a woman, and I would call her an iconic woman, a woman that's very, very, very intelligent. And when I first met her, the kind of grammar she used to blow, I used to like, oh my God, this auntie is big English. Like, will I ever be able to catch up and understand? But I'm excited to bring to you a woman with a heart of gold. She's a mother, she's an entrepreneur, she's a businesswoman that holds nothing back. Nothing holds her back when it comes to going all out there and doing things and making changes. She's a creative person. She describes herself as a purist. I'm actually not comfortable with this view that I have. Perfect, yes. So she describes herself as a purist, and I would look at her as a naturalist. She's everything she's about, is down to the core. She's very intelligent. There's just so much I could say on and on about her. But she's the one woman that brought the different alumni of the different years of the secondary school that I went to. So we're having her here today to share a passion. What was the story behind it? What was she thinking of before she decided, no, I'm going to bring all the years together and just have a synergy of sisters making a difference in the school that they went to. So I'm delighted to welcome to you Family Meeting Legacy Talks today, Mrs. Kemi Ilori. Thank you so much, sis, for coming. Like I said, I'm inspired by you a lot with all the exploits, and I won't call them exploits. And there's so much that I'm ready to learn from you today, and I'm looking forward that you will be sharing with us as well. So I'm going to ask you this: what were you thinking of? No, actually, I will before we go into that. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know I've introduced you, but you tell us a little bit more about yourself. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. What so we get to know you better.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Kemi Ilori. How do I describe myself? Just an ordinary human being, trying to live life within the space that my creator has put me in a positive manner. I think that's just how I would describe myself here.
When you said ordinary, I'm going to disagree on that, but we'll take it for the benefit of the audience. So we'll take that. When you decided to bring all the years of Government College together, what were you thinking of? What spurred you on? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because a couple of years ago, I was in my living room and I was watching a TV program. And this young man was talking about how they went back to their school, the kind of changes they made, how they went back to renovate the school from different dilapidated stages it was, and all the changes they made. And I was like, wow, because prior to that, it just never even occurred to me that, anybody would be thinking, all that I would think about is, oh, yes, he went to school. What does it look like now? But for him thinking to say, oh, they went back and they made changes, that was the first time that thought occurred to me. But you went over and beyond because there are years already doing their, different set alumni. but you thought to bring everyone together. Why did you? What spurred you on?
So many reasons. First, my experience with the other schools that I went to.
Okay.
Government College Agege was the only secondary school that I went to, and I was a pioneer student. So that means that we didn't have seniors.
Right.
I went to other schools. I went to Queen's School, Ibadan, for my A levels, and they have very strong alumni, and they have very, very old students, great grandmothers, as it were. And I realized that, I had a responsibility to kind of like develop that kind of unity, So I thought to myself, how do you do this? Like they say, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with people. And there had been different things that had been happening. There is a good friend of mine and a classmate, Titi Ogedengbe, who told me a story that really impinged on my mind. She said there's another of our classmates, Agnes Olushoto, who lives in Ireland where you are.
Right.
And she sponsors some students in the school. And because she's that far away, she sends Titi to do those things that she does for herself. For her. And Titi had said she went to the school and she found out that some of the girls did not even have things as simple as sanitary towel. When we're in a comfort zone, we tend to assume a lot. There's some things that are so little, so primary, that people are deprived of it, and we cannot even imagine that level of deprivation. So she said that she wept in the car all the way to her house when she left the school. Wow. That she was crying. So, and I just thought to myself, how does one share that kind of experience? Oh, she told me I can tell one or two people. I can even tell my whole class set. It's not everybody who would be interested.
Sorry about this. Just try to stop this one. Yeah, I'm listening, Sarah. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Also, I remember there was a time when there was some story in the newspaper about a student who had been raped, a government college student. So all these things came together, and I just said to myself, what do I do? How does one give back? And that is how the Connect idea came. Also, the fact that it's not just a government college thing. Nigerians generally, we do not have a legacy, an orientation for legacies. I don't know where we got that from. Somebody would be 40 years old, 50 years old, and they'll have these huge parties and spend millions of naira, renting the hall, getting a caterer, and all that. And it just all goes in a day, because you are 50 or you are 60 or 70, that any and every other people, so many people have been, are still going to be. This is money that would pay the way of one person through university from scratch to finish, or even, pay for exams for so many students. That is one. Then I also just remembered that when you're a science student overseas, as a female, I'm looking now from the female perspective, and you want to do science research, you get handed a list of grants and funds that you can access.
Right.
And a lot of these, are individuals who decide to give something, We don't have that kind of setup in Nigeria. And I just thought to myself, I said, what, even if somebody wanted to, what is the avenue? There should be kind of a collective avenue where there'll be some kind of monitoring. You can't just hand the money to the school or to the government. Most people do a foundation, like you have Ford Foundation.
Yeah.
But such foundations are, strong establishments, with a lot of controls.
I'm so sorry, sis. I don't know what's happening today. I'm trying to be able to get people that are online as well for us, but I can't seem to. It's just messing up. Sorry, go on. I'm just going to leave that for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I thought to myself, there has to be some kind of forum where if somebody, wanted to give, let's say Busola, you now want to say Busola Award for the best student in chemistry.
Right.
Who wants to go on to university? Maybe you want to give a scholarship. A scholarship doesn't have to be the whole school fees amount. It may be 50%. Mm-hmm. You may say 250,000 naira every year for 5 years or for 4 years. That's just 1 million. But it goes a long way.
Yeah.
So I was saying to myself, what can one do? And that's how Connect came about. There's so many aspects to it. I even, tried to, the need for those kind of funds is more in Nigeria than even all those places where you access them more. Because there's more poverty. There are more indigent people who are gifted, who are intelligent, and it takes very little, to help them.
Yeah.
That is one. There is a paucity of funds because government does not have enough money and is thinly spread. These are all the deficiencies in the system. And then there's a frequent turnover. We don't have, in most other places, the civil service is the custodian of the history of the system, But no, and it's not that doesn't happen here. But you find out that there is maybe the population just makes it so difficult to hand over effectively. And also, there has to be a feeling of ownership. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that GCA Connect lends to it. Owning the progress of the school, contributing to developing a legacy, assisting, looking for a good channel, a means of channeling funds for people who truly need it and for people who truly want to give.
Okay, if I can cut, sorry, my apologies for cutting you short there. The school that you went to, even though it's the same name of the school that I went to, it's completely different. We went to the same government college, different times, but it's completely different. What was it like when you were there?
When we went to government college, we were handed a fantastic school. It was a gift. It's like something is dropped on your lap.
Yeah.
Because what happened was that the commissioner of education at the time was Chief Adeno Busoya. So he decided to have 5 centers of excellence. And so he started 5 government colleges, 3 mixed schools, 1 all-girls school and 1 all-boys school. The all-girls school was Government College Agege. So what they did was they brought the students who excelled in common entrance from major schools and brought us there. And the school, very huge compound. A lot of private universities today do not have as much grounds as we had then. There was even a stream or a river within the school.
Yeah, I remember at the back.
Yes, that's how big the school was. Yeah. And we had Mrs. Odusi, she was a vice principal in Igbobi College. They brought her. She was an English woman, fantastic. So we were treated like eggs, very well groomed. We had music classic. We had this proper music classes where Papa Oshi and all that, and we just took it for granted. And you can see from the product of that set, from the first few sets, you can see the quality, And, like I said, somebody comes up, especially in the civil service, with a brilliant idea. It is not, when he leaves, it is not, you cannot be sure that the person who takes over would have ownership of that idea and share the vision. Definitely, Sir Adeno Ogusoya's vision was not shared. Because what now then happened is that things generally fell apart. The school was balkanized. The grounds were people. I mean, I'm sure people thought that what's this secondary school doing with all these grounds, you know? So the school was balkanized and all that. And for those of us who were the first set, you know, after we left the school, you know, we were young. People went on to to university. After they left, they had to start on their careers, you know, the journey of life, their careers, and they probably didn't have the benefit of looking back at that time. Right. So by the time we started to look back, things had degenerated a lot.
Okay, because when you went, there was a boarding house.
We were in boarding school.
Yeah, and there was the I'm not sure if it was a double-decker school buses, like, you know, the LMTS school buses. When we came in, there was buses that was transporting these students to Akoka, the likes, like, you know, and the boarding school was still there when we came in. But I think
by the time we left, by the time we left, there were barely any day students. There were very few. I mean, it was like more like strange for you to be a day student. I think there were, but there were very few. There were hardly any day students. We were mostly boarding. So for us, it was an aberration, you know. So like by the time, you know, we started hearing that there were day students, that if there were day students when I was in Government College Agege, there's no way my father would have allowed me to go, because it would have been too much trauma for you to shuttle to school and back, you know. So that's why I said we took a lot of things for granted, you know, a beautiful beginning. Wow. And so these were all the things that we now got to find out had gone down. The school had been changed. You know, it's like they don't need to have a boarding house, because running a boarding house, you know, entails a lot. You would have cooks, they would have to take care of the students and all that. So I think it was easier for students to go home and be taken care of by their parents, you know. So things had changed drastically. So that's what happened.
Right. In comparison to you,
you know, it was a model school when we went to the school. You know, I mean, I grew up in Ikoyi. We were living in Ikoyi, and it was from there that, you know, we were taken to Government College Agege. These days, I hear they just take anybody from anywhere, you know, around the precincts and put in the school. It didn't have that model college status anymore. In fact, now we're trying to get to the school to get back to be a model college. But originally, Government College Agege was a center of excellence. It was a model college. That's what it was.
And in comparison, I was the Jakande set. So
you've done well for a Jakande girl. You've done very well.
We were the first set of Jakande's era, and so we were the windowless classes. You know, it was all air coming in.
I mean, for me, for my set, a windowless school is unimaginable. I mean, I can imagine my principal, Mrs. Odusi, probably would have fainted, you know, such a thing. It was inconceivable. That was the kind of school that we went to. It was inconceivable.
So it's a good thing. I cannot thank you enough for that initiative to, you know, consider bringing all the years together, because irrespective of where anybody is living now, you know, we're all kind of like connecting, just the way it's called.
If anything, I think it's even more needed there than any other place. It gives me deeper satisfaction. You understand that this is going to people who really need it, not people who don't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It gives much deeper satisfaction to really make a true, tangible difference for those who really need it.
And the beauty of it as well is, you know, everyone is able to see what's being done. And the way the platform is set up is not just about empowering those that need it. Even we old students being on that platform, we're being empowered because on a weekly basis, there are different topics going up for training for education, on on taxation, on real estate, on business talks, on health, emotional intelligence, cookery, and all of that. So it's an awesome idea to be a part of. I can't thank you enough for that initiative. You're indeed very, very celebrated. It's
Thank
a shame. I'd love to acknowledge those that are. My apologies there now. I know you can see us live, but for some reason I can't even see your comments or anything here. Oh wow, I just might be able to. Oh, Adeline says welcome, Kemi. Eniola says Kemi, welcome. Eniola Busola, great to see you. Thanks, Eniola. Edith Bash, good of you, ma. Up school, up GCA. Yes, Muiwa, thank you. Woo, Muiwa, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Muiwa says, nice one. Well done, sis. Yeah, Mrs. Shilala. Yes, so Jack and they said, yes, so we're not too bad, sis. We're not doing too bad at all. And when for me in my household, my mom went to QC, my sister went to QC, and then I was Jack and they said. So the first year, initially, I think the boarding house was there in the first year. So they were considering maybe I was going to go to boarding house, but for some reason it didn't happen. So for me, going to a nearby school that wasn't QC was already giving me a complex in the house. And then my mom and my sister will be singing, pass on the torch, so bright. Like
pass on the torch. I went to Queen's School, so it's my school song too, pass on the torch.
Yes.
All the Queen's School are Queen's College was split into two.
Right.
And half of it was taken to Ede.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So the Queen's School Ede was now taken from Ede and moved to Ibadan and became the Queen's School Ibadan. Oh, so Queen's School Lagos and Queen's School Ibadan are really, so it's the same alumni song. Right. So I'm an alumnus of
Pass on the Torch as well.
Yes, Pass on the Torch. So it's my school song as well.
So but of course,
my heart is in GCA because that is the school that I really went to, from scratch. Yeah.
And the one that really formed you.
The one that formed me, yeah.
Yeah. So I used to feel bad, they make fun of me at home and they're like, Mashallah, oh yeah, what's your school anthem again? I'm like, Murazisha already, or Joe Mano. But now that I cannot even begin to celebrate that as much as, now I look back, I look at the school anthem, I look at the words, the meaning behind it, that is even written in Yoruba now. What I used to be ashamed of before is now something that I value so much now.
Yeah.
And I suppose that was part of my colonial mentality.
Sorry, let me just go back to Queen's School a bit. When GCA Connect started, a lot of people just did not understand what it was about. And it was, are they already class set? Are you trying to divide the school associations and all that and all that? And I could see that they did not understand that there had to be a forum for coalition activity and mutual support. Mm-hmm. In Queen's School, as we speak now, they even have a new forum that they formed after NSAS, and it's called, I have to look at it, MUM, Moms United something, for support. So, this things like that, especially in female associations, are meant to address needs in society that, that would not be able to be handled in a formal manner. I don't know how to explain it to you. So, and that's what people need to understand, because the vacuum is there. We need to fill it. We need to be proactive, in giving back. Absolutely. And do so in a united manner. Yeah.
And I cannot begin to celebrate our old girls enough for all the years. There's no barrier, as in there's okay, for the benefit of the public watching now, there's we call ourselves SL, which stands for sweet lady, so that there's uniformity. You don't feel like saying yes ma to or your.
Actually, I have to mention sweet lady Yinka Ayodele.
Okay.
He came up with that prefix,
right?
Actually,
okay.
And she brought it up and she advised that we should adopt sweet lady, so that there isn't any senior or this one or that one. So it kind of like generally levels. Yeah, and that was brilliant. Yeah.
So so we all go by SL, this SL Kemi, SL Busola, irrespective of whatever level, whatever year, everybody is an SL, and that levels the playing field for everyone. The respect is there, and we can work together like that. In saying that as well, Government College has turned out a lot of quality quality civil servants in society today that are making massive difference. I don't have the list of names.
I don't think there is any single school. I mean, sorry if one is being vain, and I don't mind being correct.
We're allowed to be, sis. We are.
I don't think there is any school that has as many representations in government, one single school, as many as we have currently. Wow. I think we must have like between 5 and 7 permanent secretaries from Government College Agege alone.
Wow.
And that is not to talk of other positions in government. The general manager of the water corporation is from Government College. The director of pharmaceutical services is from Government College Agege. And so
come join us. I'm going to share my screen to just show you, because it's not just about, we're not just about the how do you say, we're not just about the formal aspect of things. We're connecting, networking, getting to know each other, and just to build what we have in the school. I hope I'm clicking on the right one. Connect, that's the GCA Connect. And this picture we have here represents volunteers from the 79 to 97 set, when they all went to, this was the first time they were all going to assess the situation on ground, to see what works has been done by the various class sets, and then to be able to assess what else needs to be done and arrange them in order of priority. So we know exactly what we're tackling, how we're going to go about it. And everything is brought back to the group. Everything is, we have the admin for each year. Everything is brought back to the group. At that time when this was, the principal then, she's retired now last year, but the principal then was SL Omoyemi Ngwafo. She was also a pioneer student of the school. So what we also do is like SL Kemi has already said there, is an all girls platform for giving back and mutual support. We do mentorship, career, and networking. And we've been doing this now there's an intervention group. SL Kemi, do you want to talk about the intervention group that's ongoing for students?
Yeah.
Okay.
What it is that GCA Connect operates through committees. That's what we do. And we have different committees, but the most important committee, which is the one I think you're referring to, is the mentorship committee, the mentorship and direct support committee.
Yeah.
The mentorship committee is by far the most, I would say the strongest one for direct intervention. It's called the Mentorship and Direct Intervention Committee. And what we do is that the members of the committee organize school visits, at least a monthly school visit. So, and when they go before they go for the monthly school visit, they decide on what they're going to address when they go to the school. interact with the principal on what to do and how to go about it. Sometimes when they're able to get an external body to come and participate, they do so. Try to give a talk. And what they do is they get all the students out and talk to them and all that. So that's what the mentorship and direct intervention.
As well that
but it's going to be, because what's happened is that as we go along, you understand, we now then adjust to suit the needs. What has happened so far is that we've been able to give a feedback on the Connect platform. When they go for the mentorship meetings, they record videos of what happened and all that and all the interactions. And then also the needs that are put before them, they bring back and we put on the platform. And one of such example, when Sweet Lady Moyemi Nwafo was there, was when there was need for JAMB forms to be paid for.
Yeah. And,
fortunately, there was an overwhelming response, and even the forms were oversubscribed, the JAMB forms. We were supposed to have had a career fair. A career fair is a situation whereby we bring, we construct booths, cubicles, and we kind of like arrange the students according to their need, to their aspirations. Right. And then we bring people who have excelled in those fields, like a doctor, surgeons, lawyers, accountants, people who are outstanding, who have excelled in those professions. So we kind of like have a career clinic, a career fair, where they will now address the girls, talk to them about their own journey, tell them what they need if they want to go into that field. If, for instance, you wanted to read medicine, the subjects you would need, the passes you would need, the kind of cutoffs, what would help you. The person would talk about, his or her own journey, and then also directly talk to students. And so those kind of things, those kind of real life impact, so we're supposed to have. But of course, as you know, we started GCA Connect in 2019.
Right.
And 2020 was a pandemic most of the year. So, and there was lockdown, so we couldn't have the career fairs that we were going to have. We were just beginning to get back into the loop. So that's part of the mentorship.
Right. I think there's one.
I'm sorry, we've had a lot of offers. Yeah. We've had judges offer to come and talk on the career talk.
Yeah.
It's a very, very popular committee. We have different committees. We have the finance committee, tasked with raising funds for the school, and we've looked at a lot of things like adopt a school program, whereby we can approach organizations and banks and all that to adopt the school and try to give us some targeted infrastructure. So we have the finance committee. We have the business committee, which is the newest committee, and it's coming on quite strong. Where we share ideas, where we a lot of what it is, share information, preparing the background for the Saturday business week.
Yeah. Wow, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm just going to quickly see if we have any comment. Funke, thank you. She's corrected me on Telegram. Yeah, you're right. So, right. I want to talk about you yourself. Actually, before we go to you yourself, I'm going to finish sharing that slide just to see it there again. Yeah. Okay, so that's our mentoring committee, and also we connect to network on a one-to-one, because this was going to be our first meet and greet. The group
No, this is the
started.
second one.
That's the second one. Sorry, yeah. So the group started online, but we knew names, but we didn't know faces. So it was agreed to have a meet and greet. So which was the feedback from that was amazing as well, from the first to the second one, and I think we had the third one as well when SL Miami was having a send off. So that's just a cross section of the people that attended that, and this one when SL Miami was sending her off to say thank you for our contribution to the school. It was virtual because people
Was me.
yes, but people all over were able to connect from.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because
From
I remember
America,
I connected
from Canada, from Ireland, from the UK, all over.
Yeah. So we didn't let that hold us back to continue. So I'm going to now come back to you because this is family meeting and it's legacy talk. So we're thanking you for what you're doing with the school. Obviously, you've already left a trail in the sand, because there's no way they're going to talk about the history of transformation in Government College that your name will not be mentioned for being one as a pioneer student, a pioneer the GCA Connect, and brought transformation to the lives of many. Together with bringing everybody together. So I want to say thank you once again. Your legacy is establishment, no doubt in that field. Okay, so I know you're passionate about everything African, everything Nigerian, everything. So what do you want to, and a while back, when one of the things that impressed me so much about your knowledge was all the herbal things, like, you knew all the names about all, herbal remedies and all of that. How did you, was this as a result of the courses you've done, or, how did you come into that? Because my dad had this knowledge, which I wish he could have passed on to us. And for some reason, because we were not home, we couldn't do a recording, and he wasn't going to write a book at that stage in his life. So we missed out on that, but we could still see some of his notes. But you have this now. How did you come about it? And how do you think you can pass that knowledge on to the next generation?
Well, I thought you were aware. Maybe you don't know. I'm a pharmacist.
No, I know.
I'm actually a trained pharmacist, and I have a master's in pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is the aspect of pharmacy that deals with natural products.
Right. Okay.
So it's actually my job, my career.
Okay.
And in pharmacognosy, you have an aspect that deals with traditional medicine.
Okay.
And I developed a special interest, in that area. Mm-hmm. So my special area of interest is ethnomedicine. Right. And that's where indigenous knowledge comes in. Okay. So it's not like I was just walking and I just stumbled on all this knowledge and I'm just fantastic genius. No. It's something that I went to school for. Okay. And ongoing, and working on it continuously and all that. Even if I wouldn't show you my table now, I have some herbs that somebody just brought to me yesterday. People are always bringing me stuff for analysis, right. Things that they whatever. So it's knowledge that one gathers, mm-hmm. and one studies and one learns, about. So that's how it came about. Yeah.
Okay. So now the question now is, do you have any plans of passing that knowledge on by form of a legacy? Because like I said, that's what I'm missing with my dad.
Yes, because what it is that there's so many fora, for doing that. First, I consult for the Lagos State Traditional Medicine Board, and I'm on the Lagos State Traditional Medicine Research Committee, although we haven't been doing much. But besides that, I am involved in a lot of activities, in that area. I have an annual critical convergence, which is a trade promotion fair in the health and lifestyle sector, but with emphasis on indigenous practices.
Right.
Then we also have, very strong healthy living and in that area group aside of that's a private group. Mm-hmm. So these are all the areas. But having said so, there's so many resources, so many books. It's just because people are so distracted with other things, probably they're not interested. There's so many books written like by people, written, still being written about traditional medicine, indigenous health practices, every day, continuous. I want to write because I find out that there's some very little ways of preparing things which people do not understand. So, and I get a lot of prodding from my friends that, Kemi, don't just tell us to do it this way or tell us to do that. We just write small short manuals, that will tell us how to do this or how to do that. Because sometimes people over-process. I'll give you an example. Moringa is perpetually over-processed. People always over-process moringa. Right. So people over-process herbs a lot, So, tips like that and all that. And I think I'll come around to that and, little manuals with time. But as it is now, I have a bit of a flux because ethnomedicine is my special area. Mm-hmm. But I just, in the last few months, discovered the power of oral tradition.
How do you mean?
So you find out that globally, not only in Nigeria, Chinese everywhere, before writing was introduced, everything was oral. And you find that in chants, there is a lot of hidden oral knowledge, Right. And this is something that has to be on. You said your father refused to write.
No. It's not that he did not. It's not that he refused.
They couldn't be bothered.
He was. I think he was more engrossed in doing it and helping people. He didn't have the time to write it, and I was the one that was pushing him. What he did
there are lots of people. Even if they wanted to write, they couldn't.
Oh, he wanted to. He didn't mind me taking the notes, but I wasn't there to do it. But he didn't have the time. So he didn't mind me doing it. So I said to him, instead of doing that, you could, have a video recording. But he didn't get around to even doing that. What he did instead was he made sure that each one of us had a book that had, it was more like a herbal remedy book, but it was a small
It's called an account. The name for it in the indigenous communities accounts. So that's your father's account. They call it accounts.
Okay. Okay, so he gave us all an account.
That is
honestly can't thank, because that book sometimes, sometimes you don't want to take all these tablets and things like. I go to the book and just flip through, okay, what do you use for pain in this one, use lemon of this one, or do there was lemon therapy that I had to do lemon 7 days up down, or so things like that. So I do appreciate that a lot. Can't thank him enough for that. Yeah. Right. So we're going to hold you to your version of the legacy of this one, because
But before then, there are some things that are even more important than, you see, people sometimes, are looking for a magic bullet. Oh, I have pain. They just want something to cure the pain. It's a very wrong attitude. We have to look at the cause. We have to look at lifestyle. So we have to actually bring back traditional lifestyle practices that are beneficial. It's much more important than looking, oh, let them tell me, what did they use for high blood pressure? What did they use for pain? What did they use to get pregnant? What did they use to increase blood, sperm count? No. You understand? We have to look at the indigenous practices that enables them to have that level of comfort. I have a special project of it. I'm a very, how do I put it now? I can be quite restless, you know. I get into something and then it keeps going, and it's like, no, this is it. I should do this. And my project now, my pet project now, is that of traditional cooking ware.
Oh, the clay pot.
The clay pots, you know, that's my, you know, in fact, that's what I used to cook in my house now.
Right.
So you find out that there is so many aspects to it. So many aspects to it.
I actually have a friend that will be interested in that. And you're allowed, okay? I'm sure she's on the call. You know.
So you find out we have so much memory loss now. Find people are like about 70 and they're having Alzheimer's and all that. Because we use all these aluminum cooking pots. Aluminum deposits itself in the brain, you know, and then you know, it helps the rapid progression of Alzheimer's, you know. Why do we have to use aluminum cooking pots? Why can't we use our own clay pots? The clay pots are healthier. You don't get aluminum residue in your brain, and because they're from earth, some of them have you know, beneficial minerals that get into the food. Even we get to save billions of foreign exchange, importing stainless steel pots and pans from all over the world. I don't know what our problem is. Everything is fine except if it is our own. If you Google and look in India, that is what they use. They use their own, and the raw material is here, the earth is here, the clay is here, and it's so much better.
We need a revolution of awareness. We definitely need a revolution of awareness.
We don't even have a choice.
Yeah.
Understand? When you look in terms of the benefit, the health benefits, when you use the traditional water pot and the filter that comes with it, it filters, you know, the water, and you get the clean water, you know, instead of buying chlorinated water. You know, so there's so many, but that's what it is. There is an Indian woman who lives, you know, where I live, my estate, and she sells these clay pots that she brings from India, and she sells this small tiny pot. One pot she sells for 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira. We have that. We have here that they're selling. If we go to Oyingbo, it's filled with it. You know, so that's you know, that's a new one. You know, the lifestyle, adjusting the lifestyle for possible.
That's definitely one legacy that we will all be taking away from you.
But no, we're work in progress. I can put you on my healthy living platform if you are interested. The only thing is that, as you know, we're strict on Telegram platform. We don't allow whatever, and people still this one is even more strict. Nothing, no shegbe. You can't come there and come and start saying good morning unnecessarily. It's very, very specific. You know, that's what I could put. You know,
please do. Please do. So I want to say thank you. I'm just going to see. Unfortunately, my thing is playing up today, but yes, well done. Kemi says, well done, SL Kemi. Yemi Sishula Laudunto says, well done, SL Kemi. Just gonna see, I think we have a few more comments in there. Yes. Wow, fantastic. And Yola, okay, she says, love that, your passion. Adeline says, we love to know about the moringa over processing. Annie is my sister. She said, I once saw his dad's account book, okay, which had remedies for a lot of ailments, including psalms and incantation, but got blown out by those psalms, meaning the word of God is powerful and towers. I don't know what that is. Eniola says, you're so good reading my mind. Yes, I am reading your mind because I know you. My friend Eniola has you know, the person, not she has mortar and pestle here in Ireland, and she has the grinder for making pepper. Oh Lord, yeah. She has it. So I know definitely the clay pot is going to be top on our list now. She says, thinking back, Eniola says, thinking back, my great-grandparents and my grandparents' food had no cartoon. Now reflecting back, the difference was in their cookware. And Ella says, please add me too. She will add that to the group as well. I know she will. So I want to say thank you very much. It's been insightful. Can't thank you enough for GCA Connect. Can't thank you enough for this legacy that you've even shared.
Sorry, just 1 minute. Yeah. GCA Connect is not me. It's GCA Connect. All beautiful, sweet ladies, including you. Everybody working in GCA Connect are volunteers.
Yes.
The committees, even sweet ladies who are not on committees. When we have meet and greets, sweet lady Fola Shade, you know, they pull out all the stops. Everybody volunteers selflessly, and it's just been amazing. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to these wonderful women. You know, they make it worth it. They're wonderful. Yeah.
And I echo what she's just said. I photocopy it. So thank you to all the SLs. We appreciate you. And again, for all you people that went to Government College Agege and you're sitting on the sidelines, now is the time to get in the game, so that when the story is said tomorrow, you will take pride knowing you were part of it. And on that note, that's all we have today. Oh, thank you once again for everyone that has joined us today. I do hope that you're going away with something else. Maybe it's going to be your own school group you're going to make a difference in, or maybe just the health tips you've taken away from SL Kemi, or you know, maybe it's just the idea that, wow, what can you do to bring about legacy as well, or to make an impact or a change. Either ways, we hope that we have been blessed.
They should institute grants for students. It doesn't matter, even if it is 20,000, 4 people can get together, 5 people, and sponsor. The last one, we have 5 students who got admission into the university. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't know which ones are indigent there. Mm-hmm. We're sitting because there's been a change, as you know. It's a new principal, so we have to sit down with her and try to find out exactly what to do and how to go about it. So we're counting on alumni to support, so that we can help the girls, you know, so that when we come up with whatever the programs or the needs are, they should, you know,
rise up to the needs.
Yes. Mm.
Thank you so much again, SL Kemi. That's all we have tonight. Thanks once again. Join us same time before. Okay, monthly webinar next Saturday. And for all of us that sit on the sideline, or you think you have a goal set and you're still thinking, I'll do it, and you know, doing something else, like procrastination. How do you deal with it? You know, some people think it's as a result of being lazy. It's not always being lazy. Sometimes you have deep-seated issues that's ongoing and you don't even know it. So join us then. Register at bit.ly/finish procrastination. It's time to cut it out, finish it. So join us next Saturday. Register for Finish Procrastination, and then join us on Sunday, same time, same great channel. It's Family Meeting Legacy Talks. My name is Busola Shogbarimo. God bless. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thanks.